The world we live in is a spiritual world we live in. Um, Reason for saying this being that more time we tend not to understand that there are beings who literally occupy the same space that we occupy. And I think for some people, they do that just because it's easier that way to deal with things. It's easier that way to not to worry, not to not to engage in the spiritual warfare. Um, that's why people like the atheists, if I hope I pronounced that right, the woke, so-called woke people, the so-called mother earth worshippers, you know, the yes, hippies and all that, the so-called one love, we are all one, we have to unite ideology. These are all, I think, coping mechanism to avoid the reality we live in. Because a wise man once said, truth is actually stranger than fiction. Um, the world we live in, I'm learning to explore this world we live in because it's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful place. But the issue is we are not alone in this beautiful world. It's it's entwined. It's not all black and white. There is a gray area. There's a thin line between this reality and another reality. And every now and then, very so often sometimes, they interact and people gain access into this world, and the beings in this world gain access into our world. From coming from a Christian background, I never used to I never used to believe in God, though I was born a Christian. I had issues believing that there is a supernatural being up there who created everything, man and all that. You know, I had a hard time believing it until I had an encounter with God. That's when I realized that God is actually real, and I had to find out the hard way. When I mean hard way, yeah, I found out the hard way. I found out I nearly lost my life 3 times, literally 3 times, or more than that, because you can put it this way. I'm a very, very, very stubborn individual when it comes to my own mindset, my own thinking. I was literally leaning on my own understanding, like the Bible said, lean not on your own understanding, but depend on God, not on your own knowledge, not on your own experience. We put all that behind you when you have God. Yes, you have to be wise as a serpent, like the Bible says. But in between all that, the core of who we are, what we have to expect, what is expected of us is to cling to our Maker for sustenance, for provision, for strength, name it. So I'm urging everyone to take their time and research on spiritual warfare, people who are in the loop, who are in a limbo about these things, or people who don't believe in these things. Just give it a go. Go on your knees, say a prayer, short prayer, say, God, please, if you're real, if the spiritual world is real, open my eyes to it. Open my eyes to it. And you would be shocked. Definitely you will be shocked. And it might not happen immediately, but I know something is going to happen. If and only if you genuinely, from your heart, ask God to open your spiritual eyes, your spiritual senses, in order to see what He wants you to see, or to reveal Himself to you in whichever way He thinks is best. That in itself is something that will definitely make a difference in anyone's life who is in search for truth and knowledge of the of this reality. Literally, it's a space that can be not just in harmony, but also it can be a violent reality we live in, because constantly we interact with another world without the knowledge of it. Very so often there is constant exchange going back and forth from this reality to a different reality. But very few people notice that this is going on. So those with the knowledge of these two realities and how to manipulate it tend to have the upper hand in life, whichever way you want to look at it. But that's a story for another day. That's why the people in government, especially the ones in high-ranking executive position or top positions, they tend to delve into the occult, and they tend to be involved in things of the spirits, and they consult oracles, diviners, sorcerers, psyches, mediums, things like that. It's real, basically. It's real, but some people just choose to be in denial of these things. But being in denial of this thing won't make it go away. You have to face this reality at some point, or this reality will invade your space and force you to face it, because none of us can run from it. None of us. We are born into this life, and there's a purpose. There's a purpose for this life. We might not agree with it, but that's what it is. Whichever way you want to look at it is the reality we live in, and we have to confront it. We have to research it. We have to understand it. We have to know it. We can't pick and choose.